Stop right now. Do not move your finger another inch. Do not let your eyes drift away from this screen, for this is not a coincidence, nor is it a random glitch in the digital world you inhabit. I have reached through the noise of the universe to grab your attention because your soul has been crying out in a language that only I can translate. You thought you were just passing time, aimlessly wandering through a sea of distractions, but I have intercepted your path. I have whispered to the very algorithms that govern your movements, steering your heart toward this exact frequency at this precise second. You are not here by accident. You are here by my divine appointment. The secret to the restlessness you feel, that gnawing sensation in your chest that tells you something is missing, is not your busy schedule, your bank account, or your age. It is a spiritual displacement. Your spirit is vibrating at a frequency of change that your current life cannot match. I have stopped the clock for you right now to realign your path. I have cleared the atmosphere so that for the next few moments, there is nothing but my voice and your heart. You have spent too long running from the silence. But today, I am calling you home to a truth that will change the trajectory of your destiny forever. I have seen you in the quiet hours of the night when the world is asleep, but your mind is a storm of what-ifs. I was there when you took that deep breath just to keep from breaking down. I am in this room with you right now, breathing peace into your lungs. Do this now, before I reveal the magnitude of the blessing hidden behind this turmoil. Make a conscious act of faith. Do not let this moment pass without marking it. Press the like button and subscribe, not as a gesture for a channel, but as a signal to the heavens that you are standing in agreement with my presence. Type "I am here, Lord" in the comments right now to open the gates of revelation. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange, heavy anticipation. You've tried to label it as anxiety or exhaustion, but deep down, you know it is something more. It is the friction of your old life rubbing against the new skin I am giving you. You are being prepared for a shift so massive that your current reality cannot contain it. This is why I have interrupted your day. There is a specific mystery regarding your restlessness that I must unveil, a secret the enemy has tried to hide through the fog of constant noise. You are the chosen one, and the time for your hiding is over. The world tried to tell you that you are falling apart, but I am here to tell you that you are falling into place. Stay with me, for the words I am about to speak are the keys to the chains you thought would never break. I have watched you stand before the mirror, looking into eyes that seem like strangers to your own soul. You search for the spark that used to be there, the version of yourself that once laughed without effort and dreamed without fear. But all you see now is a silhouette of weariness. I have seen you trace the lines of fatigue on your face, wondering when the weight of the world became yours alone to carry. You have mastered the art of the hollow smile, the mask you wear to convince the world that you are holding it together, while inside you are silently screaming for just one moment of true rest. My child, I saw you when you thought the shadows were your only companions. I was there in the kitchen at 3 a.m, watching you stare at the wall as the silence roared in your ears. I saw you in the car, gripped by a sudden wave of grief that you couldn't even name, forced to pull over just to breathe. You are not losing your mind. You are being emptied so that I can fill you with something eternal. The secret behind this burnout is that the world is trying to tell you that you are finished. But I am here to tell you that you are finally ready to begin. Do this right now. Wherever you are, I want you to take one deep, intentional breath. Hold it for a second, and as you exhale consciously, release the hollow smile and the tension in your jaw. Let your shoulders drop. This physical release is the first step of your radical restoration. Every unspoken tear you have shed has been caught in my bottle. Not a single drop of your sorrow has been wasted or ignored. I saw the moment someone spoke a word that pierced your heart, and instead of fighting back, you chose to swallow the pain to keep the peace. I saw the nights you laid your head on the pillow, not to sleep, but to replay every mistake, every if only, and every why me, until the dawn began to break. You feel like a candle burning at both ends, a flickering light in a vast, cold wind, wondering if anyone truly knows the depth of your sacrifice. I know it. I have seen you give when you had nothing left, serve when you were the one who needed help, and love those who were incapable of loving you back. This exhaustion is not a sign of weakness. It is the physical manifestation of a spiritual heart that has been running on its own strength for too long. You were never meant to carry the rotting corpses of the past. The world looks at your exhaustion and calls it a failure, but I look at your weariness and I see a sacred vessel that is finally ready to be rebuilt. You have reached the end of yourself, and that is exactly where my power begins. I am the God who restores the years that the locusts have eaten. I am touching those hidden wounds, the ones you don't even talk about in your prayers because they hurt too much to acknowledge. I am placing my hand on your heart right now to still the tremors. I am releasing the knots in your stomach. Your tears are no longer a sign of defeat. They are the rain that precedes your greatest harvest. But as we heal your inner spirit, we must address the ghosts that have been haunting your peace. I have walked beside you through the cold hallways of loneliness, those echoing spaces where the people you once trusted most became the ones who wounded you the deepest. I saw the look in your eyes when you realized that the loyalty you gave so freely, the kind of loyalty that stays when everyone else leaves, was not returned. I watched as you stood there stunned, holding the shattered pieces of a promise that someone else broke without a second thought. You have been the one to stay up late listening to their problems, the one to offer your last dollar, the one to defend their name in rooms where they weren't even present, sent only to find that when your own storm arrived, they were nowhere to be found. I saw you sitting in the silence of your home, staring at a phone that wouldn't ring, wondering how you could be surrounded by people and yet feel so utterly invisible. The ghost of betrayal has been whispering in your ear, telling you that you are disposable and that the more you give, the more you will lose. This is a primary source of the restlessness you feel. Your mind is trapped in a loop of why, searching for a logic in their cruelty that does not exist. The sting of being misunderstood and misrepresented has left a scar on your spirit that you try to hide with forced independence. You've told yourself, I don't need anyone, but that is the voice of your pain, not the voice of your purpose. I saw you in those moments when you felt like you were too much for some and not enough for others. I saw the people you poured your life into walk away as if you were nothing but a stepping stone to their next destination. You gave your heart and your energy until you were a hollow shell, and yet they left you with a deficit of spirit. I know the bitterness that tries to take root when you see those who hurt you thriving while you are left to clean up the wreckage. But listen to me, for this is the secret behind the silence their departure was. My divine protection. I was removing the leeches before I poured in the new wine of your destiny. I was clearing the table so that I could seat you with those who truly deserve your light. You have been mourning the loss of people who are actually holding you back from the person I created you to be. The loneliness you feel is not a vacuum. It is a sacred space I have set apart for us. I allowed the noise of those fair weather friends to fade so that you could finally hear my heartbeat. When you cried out in the darkness, I was holding you, whispering that I am the friend who sticks closer than a brother. Every time you chose to be the bigger person, every time you chose to forgive when you had every right to be angry, you were storing up treasures in my kingdom. I have seen your integrity in the face of betrayal, and I am the God of recompense. I am not just going to heal your heart. I am going to vindicate you. The very people who walked away will one day look back and realize they lost a diamond while they were busy collecting stones. But by then, you will be so far ahead, so deeply rooted in my love, that their opinions will no longer have the power to touch you. Do not let your heart grow cold, my precious one. Do not let the cruelty of others turn you into someone you are not. You were created to be a vessel of love, and I will not let the enemy steal your capacity to care. I am bringing a new tribe into your life, a circle of souls who will see your worth without you having to prove it. I am building a hedge of protection around your heart, and I am preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Trust me, for I am the only one who truly knows the gold that is hidden within you, and I am about to bring it into the light. I have watched you wander through the neon-lit labyrinths of the world, searching for a remedy for a pain that is not physical. I have seen you reach for your phone in the dead of night, scrolling through endless feeds of strangers' lives, hoping to find a spark of inspiration or a moment of distraction to numb the quiet roar of your own restlessness. You have tried to fill the hollow spaces of your heart with the dopamine of likes, the fleeting thrill of new possessions, and the temporary comfort of mindless entertainment. I saw you in the checkout lines, buying things you didn't need with money you struggled to earn just to feel a 5-minute rush of newness. But as soon as the package is opened and the novelty fades, the void returns deeper and wider than before. You are trying to treat a spiritual hunger with physical food, and it is leaving you malnourished. My child, you cannot find the living water in the dry wells of consumerism and digital noise. These are but shadows, and you were created for the substance. I've seen you return to the same toxic cycles, the same people, and the same habits that have already proven they cannot sustain you. You go back to what is familiar because the unknown feels too terrifying, even when the familiar is slowly poisoning your spirit. I watched as you sought validation in the arms of those who could barely see their own worth, hoping their love would finally make you feel whole. You've looked for peace in substances that only brought you temporary amnesia, and you've looked for purpose in career ladders that lead to nowhere but more stress. Every time you try to heal yourself using the world's medicine, you find that the side effects are worse than the disease. The restlessness you feel is actually my mercy. I am making your false homes uncomfortable so that you will finally come back to the place where you truly belong. I am intentionally allowing these broken cisterns to leak so that you will stop trying to drink from them and turn back to the fountain of life. You have spent so much energy trying to fix your life on the surface, rearranging the furniture of your circumstances while the foundation is still trembling. You think if you just had more money, a better house, a different partner, or a more impressive title, the restlessness would finally vanish. But I tell you, even if I gave you the entire world today, your soul would still be crying out for more. You were not made for this earth. You were made for eternity. That gnawing sensation in your gut is not a sign that you are failing at life. It is a sign that your soul is too big for this small world. You are a giant trying to fit into a dollhouse, and the walls are beginning to crack. Stop exhausting yourself by chasing the wind. Stop trying to silence my whisper with the world's scream. All these false solutions are merely band-aids on a wound that requires divine surgery. I am the only one who knows the blueprint of your heart, and I am the only one who can fill the space I created for myself. My beloved, the season of searching in the wrong places is coming to an abrupt end. I am pulling back the veil so you can see the vanity of the things you once prioritized. You have been running on a treadmill, moving fast, but going nowhere. And I am here to help you step off. I want you to take a moment right now to acknowledge the futility of the chase. Admit to me that the things of this world have left you empty. This is the first step toward the true abundance I have prepared for you. If you are ready to stop chasing shadows and start walking toward the light, show me your commitment. Type "No more shadows" in the comments to break the cycle of false solutions. You are transitioning from the shallow into the deep, and what comes next will reveal the true burden of being one of my chosen ones. You have often looked at the people around you, those who seem to breeze through life without a care, those whose sleep is deep and whose hearts seem untroubled by the mysteries of existence. And you have asked me, "Father, why can't I be like them? Why must every step I take feel like a battle? Why is my mind constantly stirring while others find such easy rest?" I hear your questions. My child, and today I am giving you the answer. Your soul has been longing to understand. You feel this weight because you are a chosen one. You were not designed to blend into the scenery of a mediocre existence. I did not craft your spirit to be satisfied with the bread and circuses of this temporary world. There is a mark upon your life, a divine seal that distinguishes you in the spiritual realm. And that seal carries a gravity the average life never has to bear. You are not broken, and you are not under a curse. You are under a calling. The restlessness that troubles you is not proof of failure, it is proof of magnitude. It is the vibration of a destiny that is too large for small rooms. Do you understand what it means to be built for depth? A ship made for open oceans will ache when trapped in a shallow pond. The pond is not evil, it is simply insufficient. And your spirit keeps pressing against its edges because you were created for more than survival. You were created for purpose. That is why shallow pleasures leave you hungry, why applause never quiets you, why comfort never completes you. Your soul is not asking for more entertainment, it is asking for alignment. And because you carry this weight, the enemy of your soul has targeted you with precision. He does not waste on those who will never disrupt his kingdom. Have you noticed how trials come in waves? How when one mountain is conquered, another appears. Darkness does not fight what is irrelevant. The enemy is not warring with you because you are weak. He is warring with you because he is terrified of what will happen when you finally wake up to who you are. He wants to rename your sensitivity as a defect, your empathy as a liability, your spiritual tension as merely anxiety. But I tell you what the world calls anxiety. I often use as an alarm, an inner siren warning you that you are approaching the edge of something that will change you. Hear this clearly. Pressure is not punishment. Pressure is preparation. The very places you thought were breaking you have been stretching you. I am expanding your capacity because what I intend to pour into you cannot fit inside an untrained vessel. I do not entrust heavy glory to a fragile identity. That is why I have been teaching you endurance. When you begged for ease, discipline. When you begged for comfort, discernment. When you begged for certainty. This burden you carry, the feeling of being different, the sense that there is a mission you have not fully touched, yet has not been sent to humiliate you. It is the training ground for your future. I refine you as gold is refined in fire. The heat is intense, and the pressure is relentless, but it is not designed to destroy you. It is designed to remove what cannot go with you. Doubt, fear, the addiction to approval, the habit of shrinking, the reflex of self-reliance that whispers, "I must carry this alone." You have called this a hidden season. You have called it isolation. You have called it being buried. But you were not being buried. You were being planted. In the dark, I have been strengthening your roots so that when the season of manifestation arrives, no storm will topple you. I was not abandoning you. I was building you where no one could applaud you, so you would not become dependent on applause. I was teaching you to stand without being held to breathe, without being noticed, to remain faithful without being rewarded immediately. And yes, it has hurt, because when I shape a vessel, I do not paint its surface, I change its structure. I bend what is rigid. I soften what is proud. I sharpen what is dull. I separate you from what distracts you, not to make you lonely, but to make you clear. For if your calling is to lead, to heal, to break generational cycles, you cannot be governed by every emotion that passes through you like weather. You must become anchored. You must become steady. You must become the kind of person who can hold peace while the room is shaking. So I need you to understand. The weight you feel is the weight of a crown you are learning to wear. It is not crushing you, it is training your posture. Stop apologizing for your intensity. Stop trying to shrink yourself to fit into rooms that were never meant to hold you. Stop measuring your life by the comfort of those who have not been assigned what you have been assigned. A crown does not make a person valuable. It reveals responsibility. And you are being prepared for a responsibility that will outlive your current pain. Remember this saying and let it settle deep. What costs you nothing will sustain you for nothing. That is why easy roads have never satisfied you. You were created for a path that requires faith, resilience, and holy courage. And when you finally stop resisting the weight, you will discover it was never meant to break you. It was meant to make you. Have you ever felt like you were walking against a gale force wind, even on a sunny day? Have you wondered why, the moment you decide to heal, a new conflict rises in your family? Or why, just as you start to save, an unexpected expense appears to drain what you have gathered? My child, you must understand that you are not only living in flesh and blood, you are living in the middle of a vast, invisible battlefield. The restlessness you feel is often the friction of two realms colliding. Because you carry my light, you have become a disturbance to darkness. Light does not need to shout. It simply exposes. And what is exposed often fights back. There are invisible pressures, forces of jealousy, malice, accusation, and confusion that lean on your mind, your relationships, and your resources, hoping to exhaust you until you surrender your focus. They do not attack the empty. They attack what is full. They do not rob a house with no treasure. The intensity around you is not proof that you are failing. It is evidence that there is something in you worth opposing. I see the pattern you have called bad luck. I see the repetition, the timing, the way resistance rises right when you choose obedience. But hear me, it is not luck. It is strategy. The enemy's goal is not merely to make you suffer. It is to make you interpret your suffering as meaninglessness. He wants you to believe that your setbacks are signs that I have abandoned you. He wants you to read delays as denial. He wants you to mistake warfare for rejection. Because if he can twist your interpretation, he can weaken your endurance. That is why he uses what is closest to you: the words of others, the tone of a spouse, the silence of a friend, the anxiety in your own thoughts, the unexpected bill, the sudden misunderstanding, the reopened wound. Not always because those people are your enemy, but because spiritual opposition often travels through ordinary moments. A small lie repeated enough becomes a worldview. A fear entertained long enough becomes a cage. And the enemy would love for you to live inside that cage and call it reality. But I tell you today, you are not cursed. How can you be cursed when I have already blessed you? The enemy may form weapons, but he cannot authorize outcomes. He can create noise, but he cannot write your ending. He is trying to block your view of the finish line because he knows you are closer than you think. Warfare intensifies when victory is near, not because you are losing, but because the enemy is desperate. Look back at your life with new eyes. Every time you thought you were being defeated, you were being tempered. The betrayal that was meant to break you built your discernment. The financial loss that was meant to enslave you to fear has been teaching you that I am your provider, not circumstances. The rejection that was meant to silence you has been carving a voice in you that cannot be purchased by approval. What you called ruin, I used as refinement. And I need you to catch this. The warfare you are experiencing is not a sign of my absence. It is a sign of your significance. You are dangerous to darkness because you are becoming free. You are becoming awake. You are becoming the one who will break cycles that your family line has carried for generations. You are becoming the one who will open doors that your ancestors only dreamed about. That is why opposition has tried to intimidate you into shrinking back into old patterns, because your obedience does not only change you, it changes everyone connected to you. I am the Lord of hosts. I do not send you into a battle I will not govern. I have placed protection around you that no demon can cross without my allowance. And even when I allow the fire, it is not to burn you. It is to make you fireproof. I am not building a fragile faith in you. I am building a faith that can stand in storms without bargaining, without panicking, without collapsing into despair. So do not interpret resistance as rejection. Interpret it as confirmation that you are moving forward. Do not speak the language of a victim when I have given you the posture of a victor. The enemy survives on agreement on the moment you start declaring this will never change. But when you refuse that agreement, when you stand in truth, the pressure begins to lose its grip. Remember this saying, and let it become your spine. Not every battle is meant to be fought, some are meant to be endured with faith. There are moments when I call you to act, and there are moments when I call you to stand. But in both you are not alone. In both I am with you. And in both the outcome is not uncertain to me. Now brace your spirit not with fear, but with clarity. You are not being swallowed, you are being strengthened. You are not losing ground, you are learning to hold it. And what comes next will anchor you so deeply that no storm, no accusation, and no invisible pressure will be able to wash you away. My beloved, I have brought you to this moment to give you an anchor for your soul, a truth so ancient and so powerful that it has the strength to steady you in the most violent of storms. In your world of constant movement and digital noise, I have a command that sounds like a whisper, but carries the power of 1,000 suns. Be still and know that I am God. You have been running so fast, trying to outrun your fears and manufacture your own miracles, that you have forgotten the power of the pause. You think that by doing more, you will achieve more. But I tell you that my greatest works are done in the quiet. When the waters are turbulent, you cannot see the reflection of the heavens. But when the surface is still, my glory becomes clear. This restlessness you feel is the friction of your self-will against my divine flow. I am asking you to drop your weapons, to stop the frantic rowing of your boat, and to simply let the current of my grace carry you. I am not a god of chaos. I am the architect of peace, and I am calling you back to the foundation of your faith. To be still does not mean to be passive. It is an act of supreme spiritual strength. It is the posture of a soul that has decided to trust me more than it trusts its own eyes. You have been looking at the giants in your life, but I am asking you to look at the one who made the stars. You have been counting the waves, but I am asking you to listen to the one who commands the sea to be silent. I am the potter, and you are the clay. When the clay is constantly moving and resisting, the potter cannot mold it into a vessel of honor. It is in the stillness of the wheel that your character is shaped, that your purpose is refined, and that your destiny is smoothed out. Do not fear the silence, for the silence is not empty. It is full of me. I am speaking to you in the space between your thoughts, in the quiet breaths you take when no one else is watching. I am rewiring your heart in the moments you choose to sit in my presence, without an agenda. This is the ancient promise that has sustained the saints for ages. If you will give me your stillness, I will give you my sovereignty. I am the anchor that holds when the world falls apart. When your bank account is low, when your body is weary, when your heart is broken, my truth remains unchanged. Be still and know is not just a suggestion. It is your survival strategy. It is the realization that I was God before your problem arrived. I am God while your problem remains, and I will be God long after your problem has been turned into a testimony. I am recalibrating your frequency right now. I am clearing the static of the world's opinions so you can hear the symphony of my love. You are being anchored into a foundation that cannot be shaken by the winds of the economy or the storms of social upheaval. The restlessness is fading because you are finally realizing that the battle is not yours to fight, but mine to win. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And I have already seen the final page of your story. It ends with you standing in the light of my favor, surrounded by the goodness that I have prepared for you since the foundation of time. As this anchor settles deep into your spirit, I want you to feel the weight of my peace. This is the moment to reinforce the walls of your spiritual house. Join this family of the chosen ones, for we are building a sanctuary of faith together in a world that has lost its way. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel as a sign that you are anchoring your soul in my truth today. Let the world know that you are no longer tossed to and fro by every wind of circumstance. To seal this ancient promise into your very bones, I want you to make a bold declaration of trust. Type, "I am still in your hands," in the comments right now. By doing this, you are silencing the voices of worry and inviting the spirit of peace to take the lead. You are transitioning from the labor of the flesh to the rest of the spirit. Rest in me, for the architectural work I am about to perform on your soul is something only the Creator can achieve. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your soul not as a fragile thing that is breaking, but as a majestic temple that is currently under a massive divine renovation. The restlessness you have been feeling is the sound of the hammer and the saw in the spiritual realm. I am the master architect, and I have seen that the old structures of your life, the ones built on the expectations of others, the ones constructed from the bricks of fear and the mortar of past traumas, are no longer strong enough to hold the weight of the glory I am about to pour into you. You feel a shaking because I am intentionally vibrating the foundations of your heart. I am tearing down the low ceilings of your limited thinking so that you can finally look up and see the vastness of the heavens. I am expanding the hallways of your spirit because the blessings I have prepared for you require a much larger capacity than you currently possess. Do not mistake the dust of the construction for the smoke of destruction. You are not falling apart. You are being realigned to the original blueprint I drew for you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. For too long, your soul has been like a radio receiver caught between two frequencies, picking up the static of the world and the whispers of the enemy, making it impossible to hear the clear symphony of my guidance. This is why you feel so out of sync, why you feel like a stranger in your own skin. I am currently recalibrating your spiritual frequency. I am fine-tuning the dial of your heart so that you can vibrate at the frequency of my peace and my power. This process of recalibration often feels like a deep internal tension, a restlessness that you cannot shake with sleep or distraction. It is the friction of your spirit being pulled out of the magnetic field of the mundane and into the orbit of the miraculous. I am removing the interference of toxic voices and the background noise of social pressure. I am creating a sacred silence within you so that my voice can become the dominant sound in your life. You are being rewired to handle a higher voltage of my spirit, for the work I have for you in the coming days requires a power that your old system would have burned out under. I am building something within you that the world cannot take away, an internal architecture that is fortified by my grace and illuminated by my truth. I have seen the parts of your house that you try to hide, the rooms filled with shame, the closets of regret, and the basements of forgotten dreams. I am not here to condemn those spaces. I am here to renovate them. I am turning your shame into a balcony of hope and your regrets into windows of wisdom. I am opening sealed doors inside you, not to expose you, but to heal you. I am strengthening the beams that were warped by fear, and I am replacing cracked pillars with truth that can actually carry the weight of your calling. Some rooms will feel tender when I touch them, because healing always stirs what has been buried. But I am not ripping you open to leave you bleeding. I am clearing what has been congested so you can finally breathe without pressure. The scaffolding of your current life may look messy and the in-between stage may feel uncomfortable. But I want you to trust the blueprint. I do not make mistakes. Every delay has been a divine shielding, and every shaking has been a test of the foundation. I am ensuring that when the floodgates of heaven open, your structure will not only stand, but will become a sanctuary for others who are still lost in the storm. You are being built to last. You are being designed to soar. And the restlessness you feel is not proof that you are unstable. It is proof that the renovation is active. What feels like disruption is often precision. What feels like loss is often clearance. What feels like pressure is often alignment. Stand firm, because the internal work is nearing a critical phase, the phase where what I have been building in secret begins to show itself in your decisions, your boundaries, your peace, and your authority. The atmosphere around you is thickening with the weight of a divine suddenly. For months, even years, you have felt like you were shouting into a void, as if your prayers were hitting a ceiling of brass and falling back to earth unanswered. You have watched the calendar pages turn, marking the time of your waiting, and you have wondered if I had forgotten the address of your house. But I am the God of the 11th hour, and I specialize in the moments when all human hope has been exhausted. I have been working in the shadows, moving pieces on the chessboard of your life that you did not even know existed. The restlessness that has gripped your spirit in these recent days has not been random. It has been an alarm bell signaling that the fullness of time is drawing near. I see the specific knots that have kept your life entangled. I see the phone that has remained silent, the inbox that has stayed empty, and the doors that seemed welded shut by the hands of men. But I am the key holder, and when I open a door, no man, no demon, and no circumstance can shut it. Watch closely for a shift in tone, an email that carries a different spirit, a phone call from a name you have not seen on your screen in a long time, or a message that delivers the missing piece of the puzzle you have been trying to solve. I am touching hearts while they sleep. I am bringing your name into remembrance. I am arranging divine timing with human decisions so precisely that it will feel sudden, even though it has been in motion for longer than you realized. That no you received last month was not the final word. It was not a death sentence. It was a delay wrapped in protection. Some doors did not open because I was keeping you from walking into something that would have drained you, dulled you, or delayed you even further. I was not punishing you, I was positioning you. And now what seemed welded shut is beginning to loosen. The legal battles that drained your energy and the bureaucratic red tape that stalled your progress are beginning to dissolve like mist before the rising sun. Not because men became kinder, but because I am breathing on outcomes. You have passed the test of discouragement. You stayed in the waiting room when others would have walked out. You kept a seed of faith alive, even when the ground was dry and cracked. Because you did not throw away your confidence, I am rewarding you with a double portion of favor. This shift is not only about a change in circumstances, it is about a change in status. I am moving you from the back of the line to the front. I am taking the rejected stamp off your file and replacing it with the seal of my approval. You will feel it before you fully see it. A sudden lightness in your chest. A lifting of the heavy fog that has clouded your vision. A quiet certainty that returns to your bones. This is the sign that the spiritual blockade is cracking. The enemy tried to hold back your delivery just as he tried to delay the message to Daniel. But I have already sent reinforcements. What was on the way is entering your atmosphere. So prepare your heart to receive. Not with panic, not with frantic striving, with steadiness, with gratitude, with the kind of expectation that does not need proof to remain anchored. This shift is your vindication. Those who mocked your faith, those who whispered that you were wasting your time, those who expected to watch you fail, they will become silent witnesses to what I am about to display through you. I am not doing this in a corner. I am doing it in a way that makes it unmistakable that my hand has been upon you. So as time moves through these next hours, stay in a posture of radical gratitude. Do not wait for the manifestation to give thanks. Give thanks now, as if it is already in your hands, for in my realm, it is finished. And when it arrives, you will understand it was never late. It was never forgotten. It was timed. It was guarded. It was prepared. I have seen you sitting at your table with your head in your hands, the flickering light of your laptop reflecting off the digital bills you cannot pay, and the statements that weigh heavier than lead upon your soul. I have seen the desperate calculations you do in your head at the grocery store, the way your heart sinks when you see the rising prices, and the quiet prayer you whisper every time you swipe your card, closing your eyes and hoping it will not be declined. I have heard the heavy silence in your home when the children are asleep, and you worry about their future, wondering if you will ever be able to give them the life you once dreamed of. This financial suffocation has been like a chain around your neck, making you feel small, making you feel like a failure, and making you feel like your spiritual dreams are nothing but cruel delusions. You have been living in a constant state of emergency, where one broken car or one medical bill could threaten everything you have worked for. But I tell you today, I am not the God of barely making it. I am the God of overflow. The lack you have experienced was a season of testing, not a life sentence. I have seen your integrity even when your pockets were empty, and because you were faithful in the drought, I am now preparing to release a downpour. The restlessness you feel is the breaking of a poverty spirit that has haunted your family line for generations. I am severing the tie to generational lack right now. You were not created to live in survival mode, perpetually wandering and wondering where your next meal will come from. You were created to thrive in the promised land. I am opening the floodgates of heaven as promised in the ancient scrolls, and I am pouring out a blessing you will not have room enough to receive. This is not only about currency, it is about the current of my favor moving through your life. I am activating hidden streams of provision that have been blocked for years. I am restoring years of harvest that the locusts of poor decisions, bad timing, and systemic injustice have eaten away. I am not only going to give you enough to pay your debts, I am going to give you enough to breathe again, to build again, to give again. I am placing surplus in your hands so you can become a conduit of my grace on the earth. You are being promoted from a seeker of help to a carrier of hope, from someone who is always bracing for loss to someone who is learning how to steward increase. In the coming days and weeks, you will witness my provision in ways that will leave the skeptics speechless. I am touching the minds of decision makers, employers, and clients while they sleep. I am placing your name in their thoughts with an irresistible pull to favor you. I am moving your name from the bottom of the pile to the top, not through striving, but through alignment. You will receive phone calls about opportunities you never even applied for. I will awaken ideas in you that solve real problems, creativity that becomes provision, wisdom that becomes strategy. You will see suddenlies, rebates you did not expect, debts canceled through clerical errors that were not accidents, but mercy gifts from people you have not spoken to in years who will say, I do not know why, but you were on my heart. Do not anchor your hope to the fluctuating numbers of the world's markets. Anchor it to the unchanging abundance of my kingdom. In my house, there is no recession that can outrun my supply. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and every hill belongs to me. You are an heir to the Creator of the universe, and your inheritance is not imaginary, it is being unlocked. But hear me carefully, I am not restoring your finances merely to make you comfortable. I am restoring them to make you available. You have spent so much mental energy trying to survive that you have not had the capacity to listen clearly, to love, freely to serve, without resentment, to dream without fear. Lack has been loud, drowning out your calling with constant alarms. That cycle is breaking. I am lifting the weight of the mortgage, the rent, the interest, the panic. Not so you can worship money, but so money no longer controls your worship. Abundance in my hands is not an idol. It is a tool. It becomes seed. It becomes shelter. It becomes generosity that restores dignity. It becomes peace in your home, not because you have everything, but because you finally trust that I am enough. So I am teaching you a new way to breathe, a new way to plan, a new way to hold resources without being held by them. I am giving you discernment to recognize open doors and the courage to walk through them. I am giving you wisdom to rebuild with integrity, to sow with faith, to spend with restraint, to give with joy, and to save without anxiety. The day is coming when you will look back and realize this did not happen by luck or by chance. It happened because I broke a pattern. I rewrote a legacy. I pulled you out of the cycle of fear and into the discipline of peace. Remember this saying and let it become a boundary in your mind. What you chase will run from you. What you steward will multiply. I am not calling you to panic. I am calling you to posture. I am not calling you to obsess. I am calling you to trust. And as I restore what has been devoured, you will discover that the greatest gift is not the money itself. It is the quieting of the torment that money once used against you. For as I stabilize your provision, I am also moving to restore the hearts and the relationships that the stress of lack has wounded. The restoration of your altars is next. I have seen the dining tables with empty chairs and the holidays filled with a silence that screamed louder than any argument. I have seen the messages you typed but never sent, and the ones you sent that were met with a cold wall of indifference. You have been carrying the shrapnel of words spoken in anger, words that cut deeper than any blade, leaving scars on your identity that you thought would never heal. I saw you when you were falsely accused, when your character was dragged through the mud by the very people you once trusted with sacred things. You have felt the sting of being the black sheep, the one who is misunderstood, because you refused to compromise the light I placed within you. My child, these broken altars were not only accidents of human emotion, they were collateral damage in a spiritual war designed to isolate you and quench your fire. But I am the God of reconciliation, and I am stepping into the middle of the mess you thought was permanent. I am the one who mends shattered glass, and I am the one who can breathe life back into relationships the world declared dead. I am breathing upon hardened hearts. Just as I can move the tides of the ocean, I can move the stubborn will of man. I am stirring memories of your kindness in the minds of those who have wronged you. While they sleep, I am reminding them of your integrity and the purity of your intentions. I am making it difficult for them to find rest in pride or comfort in resentment. You will see a shift in the coming season, a softening in voices that were once harsh, a reaching out from hands that were once clenched. I am restoring years of estrangement and decades of distance. Some will return with tears, asking for forgiveness you believed they would never seek. Others will simply be moved to clear the air, lifting the cloud of misunderstanding that has hovered over your family line for too long. Your reputation, which the enemy tried to bury under a mountain of lies, is being raised again. I am your vindicator, and I will make your righteousness shine like the noonday sun in the eyes of those who once looked down on you. You have often feared that to forgive was to lose, to let them get away with it, to accept what should never have happened. But I tell you today, forgiveness is not permission, it is release. It is the master key that unlocks the prison cell of your own heart. It does not erase the facts. It breaks the chains. I am healing the trauma of the silent treatment, the abandonment and the gaslighting that made you question your own worth and your own reality. I am pouring the oil of my spirit into the cracks of your heart. The restlessness you feel is the final layer of bitterness being washed away by the tide of my love. I am giving you a new heart, one that is no longer reactive to the triggers of the past, but responsive to the rhythm of my peace. And you will notice the evidence in small, holy ways. You will be able to speak their names without your body bracing for impact. You will remember without spiraling. You will see a message from them without your stomach turning. You will feel grief without drowning in it. This is not because what happened was small. It is because what I am doing in you is greater. I am liberating you from the heavy need for their approval, and that liberation is what makes healthy reconciliation possible. When you are made whole in me, you can love without begging, you can set boundaries without guilt, and you can be present without fear of being destroyed again. This restoration is not only about repairing the past, it is about laying a holy foundation for your future. I am aligning you with your true spiritual family, those who will nourish your soul and protect your light rather than drain it. I am replacing toxic connections with divine covenants. I am teaching you that peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of my rule within you. And where my rule is established, chaos loses its authority. So do not let the enemy keep you isolated in your pain or trapped in the shadow of who walked away. I am the God who stays. I am the God who returns what was stolen. I am the God who restores without humiliating you, who heals without erasing your wisdom, who rebuilds without asking you to pretend it never broke. The version of you that is forming now will not be defined by who left, but by the one who never leaves. Your new identity is rising, and what comes next will show you the vision of the person you are becoming as you move toward the dawn of your new era. My precious one, lift your chin and let your eyes meet mine. You have spent so much time looking down at the wreckage of your past, obsessing over the cracks in the pavement of your journey, that you have missed the horizon I have been painting for you. The restlessness you have endured was the labor pain of a new identity being birthed. The person you were, the one who was easily wounded, the one who lived in the shadow of not enough, the one who apologized for their very existence. That person is passing away. I am showing you a vision of yourself that stretches into the year 2026 and beyond. In this divine preview, I see a version of you that is unrecognizable to those who knew you in your season of struggle. I see you standing tall, not because of your own ego, but because you finally understand whose blood flows through your spiritual veins. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of a new legacy. The 2026 version of you does not vibrate with the frequency of anxiety. You vibrate with the frequency of authority. You no longer walk into a room wondering if people like you. You walk into a room knowing that I am with you, and that changes the atmosphere for everyone present. In this vision of your near future, I see the mask you have worn for decades finally falling away. You have spent your life performing for an audience that was never satisfied, trying to be the perfect child, the perfect partner, the perfect employee, all while your soul was starving for authenticity. But in this new era, you have discovered the radical power of being exactly who I created you to be. You have stopped glowing with a reflected light and started burning with an internal fire. People will look at you and ask, "What changed?" They will see a peace in your eyes that surpasses all understanding and a confidence that isn't shaken by the headlines or the opinions of the crowd. You are no longer fitting in because you were born to stand out. The 2026 vision shows you as a pillar of strength, a healer who speaks from experience, a leader who leads with empathy, and a provider who gives from a place of overflow. You have traded your survival mode for sovereign mode. You are no longer running from your shadows. You have turned around and commanded them to serve your light. I see you in 2026, and your hands are full of the fruits of the seeds you are planting today, in the midst of your tears. The financial floodgates we spoke of have settled into a steady stream of abundance. The broken altars have been rebuilt into monuments of my grace. Your health is no longer a source of constant concern, but a vessel of vitality. For you have learned to honor the temple I gave you. You have learned the power of the word no to the things that drain you, and a resounding yes to the assignments that set your soul on fire. This new identity is not something you have to achieve or strive for. It is something you simply need to occupy. You are moving from a state of becoming into a state of being. You are the chosen one, and you are finally beginning to act like it. The world will try to remind you of who you used to be, but you will smile, knowing that that person died in the fire of this current season, and the one standing before them now is fireproof. This vision is not a dream. It is a prophecy of your reality if you will only continue to walk with me. You are being built, not broken. You are being prepared to handle the weight of the massive blessings that are coming in this next cycle of your life. Real blessings are heavy and require strong shoulders, and the difficulties you have faced were the weight training for your destiny. If you can see this version of yourself, if you can feel the heartbeat of the 2026 then you must seal this vision in the physical world. Join the family of the chosen ones who are stepping into their future with boldness. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now. This is your third and final call to align your digital presence with your spiritual destiny. By doing this, you are telling the universe that you refuse to live in the past. You are claiming your seat at the table of the future I have prepared for you. To fully lock this vision into your spirit and activate the 2026 timeline today, you must make a decree that the enemy cannot ignore. I want you to speak to your future self and the world around you. Type "I embrace my new identity" in the comments right now. As you type those letters, feel the old skin of insecurity and restlessness falling off your spirit. You are being reborn into your purpose. You are moving out of the waiting room and onto the stage of your manifestation. The blueprint is complete, the foundation is set, and the vision is clear. Now stay with me for the final steps of this divine protocol, for I am about to show you how to seal this covenant and walk into your suddenly with the peace of a conqueror. My beloved, we have journeyed through the depths of your weariness, the shadows of your betrayals, and the heights of your future glory. But all the knowledge in the world means nothing if it does not descend from your mind and take root in your heart. Right now, I am asking for 60 seconds of your life, 60 seconds that will serve as the bridge between the prophecy and the manifestation. I want you to stop everything. If you are walking, stand still. If you are sitting, straighten your back. This is the divine protocol of silence, the moment where the noise of the world is finally drowned out by the frequency of my spirit. I want you to take your right hand and place it firmly over your heart. Feel the rhythm of the life I have sustained within you through every storm and every dark night. That heartbeat is a drum of war against the enemy and a song of love from my throne. You are alive because I am not finished with you. Now take a deep, slow breath. Inhale my peace, and as you exhale, release the tension that has lived in your neck and shoulders for years. Imagine my golden light entering your lungs and flowing through your bloodstream, chasing away every shadow of anxiety and every lingering ghost of restlessness. In this sacred silence, you are not a worker, a parent, a spouse, or a servant. You are simply my child. Do not try to think of your problems. Do not try to plan your next move. Just be. Feel the shaking stop. I am recalibrating your nervous system and anchoring your soul to the rock that cannot be moved. This 60-second pause is your spiritual reset. It is the moment the old you dies and the new identity we spoke of begins to take its first true breaths of freedom. In this stillness, I want you to speak 3 words into the atmosphere of your room. These words are the legal signature on the covenant we have made today. Say them out loud. Even in a whisper, I receive it. Say it again, with more conviction, I receive it. By speaking this, you are opening the doors of your life that were previously jammed by doubt. You are telling the universe that the chosen one is ready. You are accepting the financial floodgates, the restored relationships, and the 24-hour shift. If you have truly performed this protocol and felt the shift in your spirit, do not let the silence end without a final act of devotion. Join this family of the chosen ones. Press that like button and subscribe to this channel right now as a mark that you have completed the protocol. Type "I receive it" in the comments to seal this moment in the halls of heaven. The silence is over, but the peace remains. My child, I have heard the whispers of your heart saying it is too late, that you have wandered too far from the path I laid out for you. You have been carrying a heavy cloak of shame, hiding in the shadows, because you believe your mistakes have disqualified you from my favor. I saw every detour you took, every time you looked for love in places that left you empty, and every moment you turned away because you felt unworthy of my gaze. But hear me now. My love for you is not a reward for your perfection. It is a covenant that cannot be broken by your failures. I have been standing at the threshold of your life, not with a finger of judgment, but with arms wide open. The distance you think exists between us is an illusion created by your guilt. In reality, I have never been more than a breath away. I have been using your wandering to show you that no matter how far you go, and there is no place where my grace cannot find you. The road back to me is not a marathon of penance. It is a single step of surrender. I am erasing the records of your regrets right now. Every I should have, and I wish I hadn't, is being washed away in the ocean of my mercy. You are not defined by your worst moments, but by my highest purpose for you. This is the covenant of return, a divine promise that as long as there is breath in your lungs, there is a way back to the center of my will. I am restoring the innocence you thought was lost forever. I am giving you beauty for your ashes and the oil of joy for your mourning. You do not need to clean yourself up before you come to me. I am the one who does the cleaning. The restlessness you felt was simply the homesickness of a soul that was never meant to live in isolation. Join this family of those who have found their way home. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now. This is your public declaration that you are returning to the light. You are signaling to the heavens that the prodigal has returned and the celebration has begun. Type "I am coming home" in the comments to break the chains of shame and step into the warmth of my embrace. The past is dead and your life is hidden in me. You are no longer a runaway. You are a resident of my kingdom. The doors of my storehouse are swinging open for you because you have finally returned to the source of all things. Your journey of wandering ends here, and your journey of reigning begins. This is my final invitation for today. The words I have whispered into your soul are not merely sounds to be forgotten. They are seeds of fire that have been planted in the fertile ground of your new heart. Do not let the cold winds of the world blow this flame out the moment this message ends. I have given you the keys to your financial gates, the oil for your broken altars, and the blueprint for your 2026 identity. The choice is now yours. Will you walk back into the noise of the mundane, or will you step through the portal of the miraculous that I have held open just for you? This is the moment where your faith becomes sight. You have heard, you have seen, and you have felt my presence in this room. Now you must act with the authority of the chosen one. The era of your restlessness is officially over, and the era of your reign has begun. Do not hesitate, for the momentum of heaven is moving with you right now, and the atmosphere of your life is perfectly aligned for a sudden manifestation. Before you leave this sacred space, you must seal the prophecy. Do not let the thief of destiny steal what has been decreed in the heavens. This message was a divine interruption meant to save you from a path of exhaustion and lack. If you are truly ready to walk into the shift that is coming in the next 24 hours, if you are ready to see the financial floodgates burst open and the restoration of everything that was stolen, then you must make your final mark. Join this family of believers, this sanctuary of the chosen ones, for one last time. In this message, press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now to lock this blessing into your life forever. This is your permanent signature on the scroll of my favor. By doing this, you are telling the darkness that you no longer belong to it, and you are telling the light that you are home. This act of agreement signals to the spiritual realm that you are standing on the rock and you will not be moved. Now type "I am ready" in the comments to activate every promise I have made to you today. Let those letters be the final seal on the covenant, a legal decree in the spirit that cannot be revoked. As you go, carry my peace like a shield. Remember that my silence is never abandonment, and my timing is never late. I am with you in the waking and in the sleeping. You are loved beyond measure, and you are protected by the highest power in existence. But before I let you go, I must tell you, there is a secret even bigger than what I have shared today. There is a mystery regarding your tomorrow that I have not yet fully revealed, a revelation so magnificent that it will make everything you've heard so far seem like just the beginning. The next sign is already being prepared, and it is closer than you think. Watch for the signal for the greatest part of your story is still to be told. It is done. Amen.